Hello fellow traders, this is Paul Lemmo. Got another stock for you. Been watching this stock over the last few months, watching the cycles unfold, and we're getting pretty good action off of the PPP zones, and I'll break that action down here in a minute. But first, before we dive in, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe. Really helps us reach more traders like you and keeps you updated on our latest trading tip. Also, we're looking for talent, maybe someone who's not locked into their own way of trading and is open to exploring a new outside-the-box form of cycle-based trading, which we use to swing trade equities and day trade indexes, SPY, QQQ, and futures. If you have any interest in that, DM me through our social media or email me at paul@bighoonatradingclub.com and I'll give you more information. Okay, just a reminder about the current market rating. We're still at an E+. The Dow Jones 30 hasn't yet reclaimed the 35 MA, but getting closer. So market conditions are improving, but good to be cautious right now. We still have a lot of macroeconomic news hanging over the market, tariffs, etc. So be cautious and be cognizant of the fact that the market can turn back down very quickly. Okay, breaking down the cycles on BBIO. This had a 5.5 BMI breakout, vector 1 on the left-hand side of the cup. And we got our first cycle squeeze forming off the TM-4 cycle. It's a 10 to 13 month cycle. And you can see right here, once the TM1 cycle bottomed out, that was in July, TM4 cycle set, and you can see the price squeeze coming in here. You had a higher low, actually it might have been just very close to that original low, but did not close below that. So your cycle squeeze starts to come in there, and then you got another cycle squeeze off the TM5. That's a 12 to 15 month cycle. And you had a 12-month high also, keeping in mind that we always like to wait for a 6-month high at minimum to form and play the pullback on these big, massive left-hand side of the cup runs. So overall, we did pretty good in the cup. We had a $45 on a U pivot, and inside the cup we stayed above the $20 psychological price point. So that's a pretty good quality cup. And even right here, let's look at how many months high that is right there. That is about 6 months right there technically. So let's just make sure we're at 6 months. So you could have played the TD9 cycle, the 50-day cycle pullback right there. You would have caught the low if you were looking for the south channel right there. But the thing about it is, even if you got in down here, you're at, that's a pretty good move. It's 100% practically. You still had quite a bit of chop right there. Now, if you don't mind waiting for that key cycle, the TM5 cycle, and you have less of a time in the trade, hypothetically, if this gets moving out of this right-hand side of the cup, the TM5 cycle, you'd have all these months of congestion that you wouldn't be worrying about. So let's just say that it broke out of this TM5 cycle with the same kind of force as it did over here, 250% in 5 months. Do we want to waste? Let me see. We're at 5 months right there, just in, it's upwards chop, but it came back all the way to that little breakout point right there. So if you were in here, you'd have 3 months of just sideways chop, pretty volatile chop. So this TM5 cycle was ideal because of the fact you had such a big gain on the left-hand side. TM5 cycle set, pull back inside of that. So we may be at optimal timing right here just because it's peeking its head outside of the, looks to be about the TM4 cycle right there on the internal cycle. But we got the price squeeze there at $30 psychological price point, and looks like we had some after the close action right there, popped up to 39 bucks. I don't think that's earnings. Earnings is May 1st. Maybe there's some news, pre-release news on that. So anyways, looks pretty good cup wise, and I'll be back in a second with some more targets on it. If you're unfamiliar with any of the trading terms I'm using, you can find our club lingo at bighoonatradingclub.club/lingo. Okay, looking at some targets here, we have a TY1 cycle off the low, and the north channel, that's around 55 bucks. That would be a pretty decent gain out of this cycle breakout here. But the X channel, that's $85 plus or so. Now, if it broke out of the cup there around 45, even 100% gain is going to take you to 90-ish. That could quite possibly happen. You got blue sky above that $70 mark. Yeah, $70 mark. That's back from 2021 highs. And again, very good cup pattern quality here. And if we can get a breakout of this TD4 cycle on the pullback and take out this prior U pivot, get a PBC zone. Let's say we have a couple of waves pull back here, hit $50 on the PBC zone. A lot of times we'll target the 100% out of the highs of the PBC zone breakout. So if we're at $50 before the pullback, could very well be a $100 target on the price. So we'll keep on watching the action. But again, the North channel was 55 plus, and the X channel was 85 plus, heading towards 90. So let's see whether we can hit that based on some good quality price action out of that TM-5 cycle. If you're interested in our trading style and want to join the club or get one-on-one coaching, head over to cycletradingtrading.com. Hope you enjoyed the video. Take care.